viewers out there, you're welcome to Sports Orbit, first edition of the program for the year. My name is Afa Achu. Salifu is right here with me. Salifu, welcome to our first edition of Sports Orbit for 2023.
Thank you for Happy New Year's and our esteemed viewers. Also say Happy New Year.
Yeah, I join Salifu also in saying Happy New Year to our esteemed viewers, and we'll begin today's episode straight from Pele. First of all, the legend who died in the course of last week was buried today after a lie in his state at the Santos Stadium out there in Brazil. Of course, and as a way of honoring the football legend, FIFA President Gianni Infantino has revealed that the World Football Governing Body will ask Nigeria and every other country in the world to name a stadium after Pele following his death last week. Recall that he passed away at the age of 82, and Infantino said as one of the ways of honoring him, it will be a nice gesture for every stadium, at least a stadium in every football playing country in the world, to at least be named after Pele. If you ask me, not a bad idea considering Pele's impact. Over the course of the years, people, when you talk about footballers, people talk about all kinds of footballers, but there's no disputing the fact that this is the greatest footballer of all time. Some have said it severally. Once Messi wins the World Cup, he becomes the greatest. And the other day, Carlo Ancelotti came out to say, "Look, yes, he has won the World Cup, but this man won it 3 times." So exactly. So if you think just winning one World Cup is enough for you to be crowned greatest of the all time, then you are just joking. And don't forget that in the time of Pele, the Ballon d'Or was not even open to non-Europeans. The award hadn't even started. So saying because Messi won 7 Ballon d'Ors does not even hold water, because he won it in an era when he was he became something to honor players. But in his time, he wasn't really a big deal. So whether anybody would like it or not, put it anyhow you want to describe it, this is the greatest footballer of all time.
Yeah, I agree with you. And talking about the Ballon d'Or, the World Player of the if it was in during the Pele era.
I'm sure that won maybe 10 times.
So not even get 10 times. Through as a remain on the pitch,
Exactly.
Pele would have been the one winning the
every year
for the 2 decades.
of course.
Active on
Yeah.
the round leather game. And obviously, just like Gianni Infantino as well correctly say that urging all Nigerians and every other football nations across the world to name a stadium after Pele. Yes, you may say that that's a big task for some other countries to do, but Pele is a global citizen. It's not just a Brazilian.
Exactly.
Because even when we were, some of us were not privileged to watch it or playing active. But when we were growing up, when we said we were playing, I was even mistaken then thought it's a Nigerian footballer. And at the same time, if you look at Pele being a black person, people feel it's an African person.
Yeah.
And it doesn't across the world, and it doesn't mean any whatever continent you come from, you don't see Pele as an outsider
at all.
Every other person, everybody see Pele as within themselves, and that is what Pele have represented in the round of that game. Pele, what we call football today, Pele was instrumental to hype the game of that game. Pele brought the game of football to the high height. Everything about football, whatever everybody was. The other day I was discussing with the colleagues. Whatever everybody is doing, whatever Messi is doing, I'm talking about the dribbling skill.
Of course, even Haaland on his Twitter page he said everything every footballer is
doing today, Pele has done in the past. Talking about dribbling, talking about striking, talking about heading, anything, everything. There's one thing that every footballer has done today. Even the round that game that like what JJ Okocha, like what Lego by JJ Okocha did, Ronaldinho and what and lately Neymar are doing. All Pele has all played those. Talking of heading, Pele has done. Basketball. Is there any style of football? Is there any style of kicking that you are kicking with that Pele has not done it? So actually Pele represents the game football. And whatever anybody asking to be done because of Pele, you will not see that he's asking for football. And obviously was even made to understand that even that his father was a striker,
Yeah.
and he fell in his own wisdom to honor his own father because his
Mm.
father was wearing a jersey number 9,
Yeah.
and his own honor to honor his own father, even at his death, has requested before that he should be buried on the 9th floor of the cemetery.
Yeah.
And that's where he was buried,
Mm.
just to signify that his honor for his own father.
Yeah.
And burying on the 9th floor, and people were just like, he wanted to be buried so I can also be watching overview the Santo pitch where he make his name.
Yeah. I mean, what a remarkable story, a remarkable footballer, if you ask me, and finally laid to rest. And I mean, just like FIFA president said, I'm sure even without him mentioning it, a lot of countries, it might not necessarily be your national stadium, but I mean, you have just one, but even without him mentioning it, a lot of countries are already doing one or doing something, just to ensure that, to keep his memory alive. Away from that now,
as far as the game of football remains, the memory of Pele will remain alive.
That will be definitely. Right, to some Flying Eagles news where the NFF have revealed that the Flying Eagles will camp overseas. That will be end of January, ahead of the 2023 under 20 AFCON. The NFF are considering setting up camp in either Spain or Morocco. According to Ladamboso, he said we will leave Nigeria by the end of January for a training camp. The overseas camp is crucial because the team will hope to acclimatize outside the country, as it will be freezing cold in Egypt during the under-20 AFCON. The team will reopen camp in Nigeria on the 7th of January, during which time overseas-based professionals will join the squad to battle the team for places. The under-20 AFCON will kick off February 19 in Cairo, Egypt, with Nigeria drawn against the host nations Senegal and Mozambique in the first round of the competition. So we hope this won't be another jamboree. Yes, in as much as it's good to go for camp, but we all know what this transpires here. Most of the time, all this overseas campaign is just another avenue for some officials to, get some extra code or exactly. So at the end of the day, they go for all these camps and come back, and on the field of play, when the tournament starts properly, you might not even see the essence, the effect of the camp. Yeah.
Well, just like Rice says, yes, it is quite minding and get go for a foreign camp. I would say ordinarily, why should you go for foreign camp for like make for speed and
either Spain or
Morocco. But if you look at it, for me, if I may suggest, Morocco is an ideal place.
Yeah.
And if Egypt also have the same weather anticipated, well, so be able just like Gladam Boso say, just because of the cool freezing of the shores of the Egyptian weather that time, and you need to acclimatize to it. So be able. The excess of the camp should be the main reason why they are traveling. To justify, not to turn it to another different thing. Just like rightly say, the camp is exclusively for the players who are going to play, and at the same time for the coaching crew, not for non-invited, or just like the former minister of youth and sport, Dallo Wallace is saying, non-invited guests. So we don't want a situation where you turn it to another tourism destination for people to just go there online.
An opportunity to travel. Right, to some athletics now, where the 5th edition of the Opobo Marathon, scheduled to hold on January 5th, has continued to gather momentum as athletes and people from all walks of life have started to arrive the ancient kingdom to partake in the competition. The tournament has gained national and international recognition, hence the special interest of top athletes and officials. According to the organizers, this year's winner will go home with a prize of 1 million naira for winners in the male and female elite categories as a reward for perseverance, hard work, and determination. For in the last edition, Akin Tomde Abayomi and Rukaya Oladapo emerged champions of both male and female categories, whilst Sunday and Clinton Amara came second and third, respectively, in the male and female category also. So good one for the organizers. But one thing is, we have a few of this marathon championship we hold here in Nigeria, but when we now go for I can't remember the last time. Do we even partake in marathon competition? Exactly.
Outside Nigeria.
Yeah, I mean, even the very popular Okpeke own, most of the times, it's always been won by a foreigner. So I really hope that all these tournaments, like we always say, it shouldn't be just one of these events that we just do so because just to create activity. For me, I feel this kind of competition, a marathon for instance, this is where when it comes to athletics, Nigeria has been nowhere at all. But yet we have one or two marathon competitions, but we haven't been seem to be making any proper headway when it comes to international competitions.
Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to say that we are going to make any headway when it comes to the game of marathon. And not only, I've said several times that when it comes to distance runners, Nigeria should be known for distance
Yeah.
runners. For instance, even though if you can't say of the south,
Mm.
for instance, for the northerners, in the far Borno, in the far from the desert areas, all those people and who are moving, who can tread the far distance, should be trained to be marathon. Long, from the so people should be good in the long distance race. For instance, from the Flanders, who are good in the far distance track. But unfortunately, but what was just like it is unfortunate that there are several marathons that have been held in this country. For instance, in the last year, we had the we have Lagos Marathon, we have a Kaduna Marathon, and all these things have about $10,000 up to $10,000 for a minute price. All were casting away from it by the Kenyans and the Ethiopians. Well, I should like we can see now. But because this one is within a local area, you just see the price money, it costs just 1 million naira. So this is the kind of thing that is not supposed to be so.
Exactly.
When it comes to a big price, we invited the federal to come and
exactly.
But when it's our own, we just put it just in bigger amount. So you know, in some cases, I even heard I've been interacting with the couple marathon from Palm from Plateau State, who have cried out that they have won several marathons that their price has not been paid. So, but it's good that yes, the organizers are trying to encourage this into develop a marathon, and it's left for the athletic federation of Nigeria to take it further. Since we are having several marathon here and there, to take this opportunity so we can develop our distance race and be able to compete. We actually not one that yes, will not be participating in the long distance event when it comes to international event. Marathon is a big money. We see several Ethiopians, going out year in, going out, winning several good money for the development of their country. And when you outside any good money, you invest into your country. It's an improvement to the economy. So it's good that we all cash into this marathon race that the it's good that there are several organizations, several NGOs and different making effort. So it's left for the athletic federation of Nigeria to cast in, and at the same time, if you put on the organizer and the event, you should also ensure that the prize money gets the winner actually. And if I increase the price money to ginger more participation, it will not be a good idea. But however, we commend those different bodies who are coming up with this initiative to encourage the development of marathon in this country.
Very well. On to some other news where UEFA, does the European football governing body, has listed Nigerian-born midfielder in the person of Leslie Uchuku among and one of the players who they've been tipping, to really make it big when it comes to football this year. A short list of 40 players were made, and he is one of the players. We call that Leslie Uchuku is a nephew of former Rene, and I think he played for the Super Eagles, Onyeka Chiapam back then. So Uchuku is actually his nephew who currently plays for friend side, and Rene also. And also Apam so also had played for Rene, so that connection is there. But I think he's French born, eligible to play for France, and he's been compared with France great midfielder Patrick Vieira, according to what UEFA wrote on their website. So far, the midfielder has represented France at underage level, but could still change his international allegiance to Nigeria. We hope it happens. I mean, a lot of foreign-born Nigerian players but at the end of the day, whether he changes to Nigeria or not will still depend on how, the structure and administration of football, because sometimes you don't really blame some of them who decide to play for the country of their birth, because someone like Saka, for instance, who knows if he decided to play for Nigeria, maybe he wouldn't have even gotten to this level. Who knows? You might never know. So let's say good, but for him, he has played for the France youth system, but still eligible to play for Nigeria.
Lately, Ogokuku, in relation to Yekachapam, was his former Super Eagles players in
the defender.
Yekachapam is central defender.
Yeah.
He was part of the Flying Eagles,
Exactly.
Flying Eagles 1995 squad that get to the final and lost the cup to the Lionel Messi led Argentina. He was also part of the Olympic squad that won a silver medal
alongside Mikel Taye and the rest.
Beijing 2008 Olympic. So, but a lot of people expected Onyekashiapam to come into the mainstream of the Super Eagles and being the agent made the central defender of the Super Eagles. But unfortunately, that never come to be because we don't know. We don't even hear about team again. All of a sudden, you just go to several of that player of that squad of that Poland 2005. They just have a short while with the. Apart from Mikel,
there may be Taye to some extent. Actually, go up as he tried, but at a point, injuries
and they had a short life.
Very well.
The lives of
them, and that player had some
even
very talented players.
Adeleye. So very the combination of Adeleye and Onyekashiapam was a very central defender, and at the same time, this guy. Sandicatas and the rest. They just had a short time.
Very talented squad indeed.
The talented squad, everybody was hoping that to come and take Nigeria to the next level. But unfortunately, a whole lot of apart from Mikel none of them have a long time career with the Super Eagles. And the same time, this was what we were talking about. But well, Ogoshoku will hope that if you will be able to change his mind to play for Nigeria. I think for me, I believe that although France have a very respectable place for African players.
Of course,
the Blues have been dominated by the African players. The squad that look at the squad that won the final in 2008, and at the same time 2018 and then 2000 get to the final this year. They are all dominated by African players. But that must be that Ogoshoku can show that he will have a better place in Nigeria than playing for France.
Away from that now to some Cristiano Ronaldo news. We call that over the weekend it was reported that he finally made that move to Saudi Arabian side Al Nassr. And the twist we're hearing to the deal is that there's a clause in the deal that will allow him go to Newcastle on loan if Newcastle qualifies for the Champions League. We call that Newcastle is also owned by the same company that owns both Al Nassr and Newcastle. So for Ronaldo, it's like trying to go to the Champions League through the back door. Through the back door. Exactly. And severally, when these reports are flying around initially, he himself personally came out to rubbish those reports as nothing been true, that he still feels he can play at the top level. He has no business with Saudi. But I mean, yes, in as much as he's going to earn big money, but I think for him, this is just a case of at all. Because at a point, no club actually, because when he was leaving Man U, after that interview with Piers Morgan, he felt clubs would be falling over themselves. Cristiano. But at a point, he noticed that nobody wanted to even go near him at all. And it was beginning to be a frustrating situation. And he was like, maybe from his management, that look, just take this big money move. Just go to Saudi Arabia and just play your football there.
What an end to an era.
Exactly. This is someone who you'd have still been at Man U because your deal was a 2-year deal. Even if you're not playing regularly, you would have still been at United playing top level football. But because of, ego problems, and I mean, nobody would have imagined at this point of Ronaldo's career, you'll be going to Saudi Arabia.
Honestly, it's really unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. It clearly shows that Ronaldo is going down, is skipping down.
Yeah, exactly, completely.
You shouldn't blame anybody.
Because if for me to even be better for him to be at Sporting Lisbon than even going to exactly.
You shouldn't blame anybody. You should blame himself because he has no business being married at this time. At all. Sometimes they say you should know that as a dancer, when the music, the tune of the music sing, you need to change to the line, change to the tune of the music. But as a footballer, to some certain extent, when your body begin to ask demand for some certain, you should know that at your level, some certain things begin to change. And at the same time, you
don't expect to play every game.
And one thing I know in the school, I'm not a footballer, I'm not a coach, but I know that for every coach, no any coach would like to put a better player on the bench. As far as and being a Ronaldo, all the coach want to do just proof. And as far as you are showing the coach that you are playing, because there's no how I don't think Ten Hag has anything personal against you anything. As far as I'm playing play good football, Ten Hag want to make a name. And if you are there to help him to make his name, so be it. Why will you drop it? But for you to feel that you are on top of the club, you are on top of the world, that is no issue, your voice to determine how the coach play, your voice to determine who the coach is. It doesn't work that. It doesn't work that. You should give the coach due respect. Everything the coach is charged, and at the same time, as a player, being at where you level you are, you take the same attitude to the national team, and we see how it all is how it will backfire on you. So you can't come there. A coach has a right to remove you at any time you feel that because I want to play, and then if the coach change you, you feel angry, and you have to walk away out from the team. It doesn't go now. I think you have to say to me. Yes, you're still going to earn a very good money.
Absolutely. I mean,
very good. That class making the highest paid player, the highest NPL player in the world. But however, that is not what he's bargaining for. And just like
exactly.
Try to I don't know. Forever may have said this idea that if you go to South, you are going to go to the back and come to the Newcastle.
Exactly. What's the guarantee that Newcastle will make it to the Champions League, even if they are doing well?
Even if Newcastle make it to the Champions League, what is the guarantee that Newcastle is coming to you to
allow you to
come and play Newcastle? And if Newcastle get to the Champions
League, don't forget they have the coach. The coach might say, "I do not want such a player in my team."
Yes,
exactly, and they don't force it on the coach.
A lot of people have seen you at the character you have that you come to the club and divided the team, and that's there are some clubs. There are some clubs in Europe that will still want to play Ronaldo, but the attitude of the has exhibited in the last 1 year they are there about has put a lot of coaches on their tool not to allow him to come back. For those are clubs like Real Madrid would have allow him to welcome him back based on that. Even says that way. So for said that people don't want. There's a problem to say wanted to order, but they are afraid of the impression it's going to create within the team. So nobody wants to bring a player and come and divide the team.
Exactly. Don't forget, Zlatan is 41, but he's still at AC.
Yes.
AC, I'm doing well.
Yes.
I mean, just won the league title with them last season. So, I mean, he has himself to play. Anyway, quickly before we leave, some matches were played yesterday. Of course, Liverpool lost yesterday 3-1 to Brentford. But today, there will also be some interesting games in the EPL. First off will be Leicester City, who will be hosting Fulham, while Arsenal will be another tough test really against Newcastle, who have been flying high lately. Let's see how that pans out. While Everton will welcome Brighton as United host Bournemouth. All those matches come out 8:45 and 9. So quickly looking at these matches. Although Newcastle during the weekend, I think they had a bit of a sleep.
Yeah. Arsenal Newcastle is the star game of the day.
Yeah, clearly.
Because it's more top of the table.
First and third.
And at the same time, Man City is interested to watch this match to know what is going to happen. Because Man City slapped last drop a point and give Arsenal an edge to do 7 points clear. So now Arsenal has to be careful how they play against Newcastle, and Man City will want the Newcastle to do them a favor. So I hope that Arsenal will be able to survive this thing, but playing at home against Newcastle. Arsenal started the new year well. And if you watch the match on Saturday on the last day of the year between Arsenal and Brighton, it was not too comfortable for me the way I watched that movie at all. Because Arsenal was doing things to allow the Brighton to come into the game, and if not for God, I help them. If the third goal Brighton score, if they have allowed that goal to stand, who know they would have equalized. But if that goal had allowed to stand, that would have given them their skill to equalize. But they have the game in their hand, so Arsenal has to be very careful. And I think I need to work on to talk more to his players and the way they lost concentration, and then to giving ball easily is something that is quite disturbing. If you must play as a champion, you make it.
Exactly. I mean, like you said yesterday, Liverpool drew, and the other day Chelsea drew. Looks like things are not quite going well for Potter at Chelsea. Chelsea currently 8th on the table as it stands.
Yeah, and even Liverpool that we hope that they will get their
act together.
Brighton yesterday that they are going to attack them, and they actually attack and give them 3-1. So I think clubs need to begin to see that for me, the way Liverpool and Chelsea, the way things are going, they have to be very, very careful. If they're going to even be top for this season. The Premier League this season, may likely see different clubs occupying the top position.
Very well.
The big boys, the big clubs, the way we are seeing them, that's week. We're talking about this week 16.
Yeah.
with 16.
Yeah,
We are getting close to the half of the season, and the big boys are still down. But if you look at them now, the difference point between us, Celsius and Arsenal is almost about 14. It's almost about getting 15 there about points. So they have to be very, very careful, because the way Newcastle's and the rest of some of these clubs are, they may likely have the opportunity and stay there in the club, even the fact that there was push as I also started dropping.
Exactly. Maybe that those matches come up later. We'll keep an eye on it tomorrow. We'll give you a complete review of all the matches. Well, that's where we call it a day on today's episode of first edition of the program for 2023. Salifu, welcome. Thank you for being on this first show of the year.
Thank you so much.
Right, tomorrow again will come your way, and hopefully this year also we promise to give you exciting and interesting moments right here on the program. My name is Afacho. Until we come your way tomorrow again, do stay safe out there. Happy New Year, and it's bye from here.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.